Today, we stand at the edge of an extraordinary truth. Your greatest investment lies within you. The path to true fulfillment doesn't start with others, but with you. It's time to step into your power, prioritize your well being, and recognize the incredible potential that lies within. Are you ready to become the architect of your future? We are all born with immense potential, potential that often remains dormant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. But here's the truth that many of us overlook. That moment will never come unless we make it happen. It is in our hands to unlock the full extent of who we are. The first step toward achieving greatness begins with a powerful decision, and that decision is to make yourself a priority. Too often we find ourselves caught up in the demands of others, constantly giving to people, situations, and responsibilities, while our own needs, dreams, and aspirations are pushed aside. But if we keep giving without receiving, if we continue to pour ourselves out without replenishing our own resources, we'll eventually run on empty. You can't give from an empty cup. The truth is, making yourself a priority isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's the foundation of your future success. If you want to grow, if you want to break barriers, and if you want to achieve things you've never imagined, you must first acknowledge that you deserve the time, energy, and focus to build your own future. You are the most important investment you'll ever make, and that investment begins today. It starts by valuing your time. Time is the most valuable resource you have, and how you choose to spend it will determine the course of your life. When you prioritize yourself, you consciously decide to invest your time in things that nourish you, things that expand your mind, body, and spirit. Too often we waste time on distractions that hold us back. It could be negative influences, toxic environments, or even people who drain your energy. Now ask yourself, are you spending time on things that contribute to your growth, or are you losing time to things that take you away from your dreams? Because the reality is this: time is something you'll never get back. Every moment is an opportunity to move closer to your goal, but if you don't prioritize yourself, those moments slip away without you even realizing it. To unlock your full potential, you must begin by setting boundaries. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your energy, your focus, and your peace of mind. Boundaries are not walls that separate you from others. They are the framework that allows you to serve others in the most meaningful way. Without boundaries, you open the door to being overextended, exhausted, and unfulfilled. Start saying no to things that do not align with your highest purpose. Say no to the distractions, the noise, and the chaos that hold no value in your journey. Saying no is not about rejecting others. It's about making space for what truly matters. And once you begin saying no, you will find that there's more room for your passions, your goals, and your vision for the future. But making yourself a priority also means being honest with yourself. How many of us avoid taking an honest look at our habits, our routines, or the things that are keeping us stuck? How many of us settle for mediocrity when deep down we know we are meant for so much more? It takes courage to be real with yourself, but that courage is what will set you apart from the crowd. It's time to acknowledge that you are capable of so much more than you've been allowing yourself to believe. As you begin this journey of prioritizing yourself, remember that it won't always be easy. There will be moments when self-doubt creeps in, when the road feels too difficult, when the obstacles seem insurmountable. But the key is to keep moving forward, one step at a time. Your journey toward unlocking your full potential will require resilience, determination, and a commitment to yourself. So as we stand on the threshold of this transformation, ask yourself this: are you ready to take that first step and unlock the full potential that lies within you? And in the next part of this journey, we'll explore how making the decision to invest in yourself is the ultimate game changer, setting you up to achieve things you've never thought possible. But the greatest investment you'll ever make is not in stocks, real estate, or material possessions. It's in yourself. Yes, you are the most valuable asset you'll ever possess, and the quality of your life is directly tied to how much you invest in your personal growth, development, and well-being. The question is, are you investing in yourself? Too often people look outward for solutions, hoping that success, happiness, and fulfillment will come from external circumstances, whether it's a job, a relationship, or a lucky break. But the truth is, real success and true fulfillment begin from within. It all starts with how you view yourself, how much you believe in your potential, and how much effort you're willing to put into becoming the best version of who you are. Self-investment is not a one-time action, but a continuous commitment. It is an ongoing process of dedicating time, energy, and resources toward your personal growth. Think of yourself as a plant. If you don't water it, give it sunlight, and nurture it, it will wither and die. But when you invest in yourself, you provide the nutrients needed for your mind, body, and spirit to thrive. The more you invest in yourself, the more you'll be able to give to others and the world around you. When we talk about investing in yourself, we're talking about more than just education or skills. Of course, learning new things, acquiring knowledge, and gaining expertise are essential, but it's also about investing in your health, your mental well-being, and your emotional resilience. Are you taking care of your body, mind, and soul? Are you setting aside time for self-reflection, for relaxation, and for building your emotional intelligence? True self-investment is holistic. It addresses every part of who you are: physical health, mental clarity, emotional strength, and spiritual peace. All play a role in your overall success. But here's the catch: you must prioritize your growth and progress above everything else. You can't afford to wait for the perfect moment or for circumstances to align perfectly before you start investing in yourself. That moment is now. One of the greatest obstacles to investing in yourself is the fear of failure. We've all been conditioned to fear mistakes, to avoid challenges, and to stay in our comfort zones. But let me tell you this: failure is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. Every failure you encounter is simply feedback, showing you what doesn't work so that you can adjust and improve. When you embrace failure as a natural part of growth, you remove the fear and unlock the potential to achieve more than you ever thought possible. Another obstacle is the belief that we don't have enough time or resources to invest in ourselves. But think about it: if you don't invest in yourself, who will? Time is something we all have. It's a matter of how we choose to spend it. And as for resources, they are often closer than we think. You don't need extravagant amounts of money to start investing in yourself. It could be as simple as dedicating 30 minutes a day to learning something new, reading a book, practicing mindfulness, or improving your physical health. Every small step adds up. Remember, the path to greatness is not an overnight journey. It is a steady climb, and every investment you make in yourself brings you one step closer to your highest potential. The sacrifices may seem difficult at first, but the rewards will far outweigh them. The question is, are you ready to make that commitment to yourself? And as we move forward, we will delve into how this powerful mindset shift can position you to unlock the opportunities that will come when you take full responsibility for your own success. What does it take to build the foundation that leads to the life you desire? Stay tuned, because the next step is one of the most crucial decisions you'll ever make. When you wake up every morning, do you feel that sense of purpose, that fire within you, urging you to step forward into the greatness that's waiting? Or do you feel stuck, like you're simply going through the motions, unsure of what you could really achieve? If you're honest with yourself, the difference between where you are now and where you could be comes down to one thing: becoming the best version of yourself. But what does that truly mean, and how do you make it happen? The journey to personal mastery isn't something that happens by accident. It's a deliberate process, a conscious decision to be better, to grow, and to push the limits of what you thought was possible. It requires intention, commitment, and above all, action. Because if you're not actively working to improve, then by default you're stagnating. There's no such thing as remaining neutral when it comes to personal growth. You're either growing or you're shrinking. And the only way to grow is to consistently pursue your best self. To become the best version of yourself, you first need to start by setting a vision for your life. What do you want to achieve? What does success look like to you? It's crucial to have a clear vision of where you're going. Without vision, you're simply wandering, reacting to whatever comes your way. But when you have a vision, you become focused, driven, and empowered to take each step with purpose. You begin to align your actions with your goals, and every decision becomes an opportunity to move closer to the person you're meant to be. But vision alone isn't enough. You need to take consistent action. Dreams, desires, and goals without action are nothing but fantasy. It's easy to get inspired by motivational speeches or read books on success, but it's the daily discipline of showing up, putting in the work, and staying committed that makes the difference. Are you willing to do the work when no one is watching? Are you willing to show up even when things get tough, when progress seems slow, and when the road feels impossible? As you work towards your personal mastery, remember that progress doesn't come in giant leaps. It's made in small, consistent steps. Every morning you choose to work on yourself, you're inching closer to the best version of who you can become. Whether it's learning a new skill, improving your mindset, strengthening your physical health, or becoming more emotionally intelligent, every small step is a step toward mastery. And here's the catch: mastery takes time. You can't rush it. The process requires patience and resilience, but those who are willing to put in the work will eventually reap the rewards. Another crucial part of becoming your best self is learning to embrace challenges. Growth comes from overcoming obstacles, from pushing through discomfort, and from facing fears head on. When you resist challenges, you resist growth. The greatest people in history didn't become great by avoiding difficulties. They became great because they had the courage to face them, learn from them, and keep moving forward. So when you encounter setbacks, don't see them as signs to quit. See them as stepping stones on your path to mastery. One of the key aspects of personal mastery is self-discipline, the ability to control your thoughts, actions, and emotions in the face of temptation or adversity is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. The power of self-discipline is the ability to stay focused on your vision, even when the world around you is distracting. But becoming your best self isn't just about pushing yourself harder. It's about being kind to yourself, understanding your limits, and recognizing when to rest and recharge. It's about balance. No one can keep pushing indefinitely without burnout. So as you chase mastery, remember that taking care of your mental, emotional, and physical health is just as important as the work you put in. The path to personal mastery is one of continuous improvement, but it all starts with the commitment to show up as the best version of yourself every single day. Now the question is, are you ready to step into that commitment and make the most of every opportunity to grow? And in our next discussion, we will dive into how setting boundaries will help you protect your time and energy, making it possible to stay focused on becoming the best version of yourself. The next step is one that many overlook, but is essential for true growth. Imagine waking up every day with a sense of purpose, with the confidence that you are in control of your life and your future. What would it feel like to know that you're not at the mercy of circumstances or the opinions of others, but that you hold the power to shape your own destiny? This is what it means to take control of your life and live by your own rules. Many people walk through life as if they're in a waiting room, waiting for something to change, waiting for the perfect opportunity, or waiting for the right time. But here's the truth: the right time will never come unless you create it. You are the one who gets to decide what your life will look like. The moment you understand that you are the creator of your destiny is the moment you step into your full potential. Taking control of your life means no longer allowing outside forces to dictate your happiness, success, or future. It means saying goodbye to the victim mentality, the belief that you are helpless in your circumstances, that you're a product of what's happened to you, or that you have no say in the direction your life takes. It's time to reject that mindset. Instead, start embracing a new way of thinking. Understand that you are the one who determines your future. You have the power to set your goals, make decisions, and take actions that align with the life you want to create. This is where personal responsibility comes in, taking full responsibility for where you are and where you want to go. It's easy to blame others, to point fingers at the system, at your past, or at your current situation. But true empowerment comes when you stop waiting for someone else to fix your life and start taking ownership of it. When you take control, you also start to see that your circumstances no longer have to define you. The environment you were born into, the challenges you've faced, or the mistakes you've made in the past, do not have to limit your future. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are the architect of your future. Your life is not a random series of events. It's the sum of the choices you make today. Now don't mistake taking control of your life for being rigid or inflexible. It doesn't mean that you should ignore the opinions of others, or that you should shut out the world around you. Taking control means knowing what you want, what you need, and what will bring you fulfillment. It means having a clear vision and being intentional about the actions you take to get there. The key is not to let the opinions of others, the obstacles in your way, or the mistakes you've made in the past sway you from your path. Your life is yours to direct. One of the most powerful ways to take control of your life is by setting boundaries. Boundaries are the lines that protect your time, energy, and focus. Without them, you allow people and situations to drain you, distract you, and pull you away from your goal. Setting clear boundaries means saying no to things that don't serve your purpose, No to the things that waste your time, and no to the things that take away from your vision. This will be one of the hardest things you will have to do, but it's also one of the most necessary. Now remember, taking control doesn't mean doing everything on your own. It's not about isolating yourself, or trying to carry all the weight of your dreams by yourself. Taking control means surrounding yourself with the right people, the right resources, and the right minds. It's about building a team of supporters, mentors, and peers who uplift and challenge you to be better. The power to control your life comes from understanding your worth and owning your decision. It comes from knowing that your potential is limitless, and that the only thing holding you back is your own fear, doubt, and hesitation. It's time to break free from the limitations you've placed on yourself and start living the life you deserve. So as you step into this new phase of taking control, remember that you're not just shaping your future, you're redefining who you are. In the next part of this journey, we will explore how embracing the strength of boundaries allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters and protect your most valuable resource, your time. Are you ready to learn how to guard your energy and create the life you truly desire? Stay tuned. You've probably heard the phrase, you can't love others until you love yourself. But what does that really mean? We often focus on caring for others, helping them, and putting their needs before our own. But here's the truth. If you do not first value and take care of yourself, you will not have the energy, the strength, or the clarity to help anyone else. The foundation of all success, all happiness, and all fulfillment starts with you and the love you show yourself. Self-love is not about being selfish or narcissistic. It's about understanding your worth, respecting who you are, and recognizing that you are deserving of happiness, peace, and success. When you love yourself, you create a solid foundation upon which all other aspects of your life can thrive. And yet so many of us struggle with self-love, often believing that we're not enough, that we're unworthy, or that we need to be something more to deserve success. But the reality is your worth is inherent. You are enough, just as you are. The first step to self-love is accepting yourself, flaws and all. Too often, we focus on our imperfections, our mistakes, and the things we wish we could change. But true self-love begins when you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am worthy, I am valuable, I am enough. It's only when you accept yourself completely that you can begin to move forward with confidence, knowing that no external validation is needed to prove your worth. Self-love also means taking care of your body, mind, and spirit. How often do you neglect your health, your mental well-being, or your emotional needs in the pursuit of success, or the needs of others? If you want to be successful in any area of life, you must first ensure that you are operating at your full capacity. Your body is the vessel through which all of your dreams are realized, and if you aren't taking care of it, you are limiting your ability to perform at your best. Self-love means nurturing your health, resting when you need to, and not pushing yourself to the point of burnout. Your mind is equally important. The thoughts you carry shape the life you experience. Are you thinking positive, empowering thoughts, or are you letting negative self-talk control your narrative? Self-love means cultivating a mindset that supports your growth, your goals, and your aspirations. It's about choosing to believe in your abilities, even when others doubt you, and silencing the inner critic that tries to hold you back. One of the greatest barriers to self-love is comparison. In today's world, it's so easy to look around and compare yourself to others, whether it's their success, their appearance, or their relationships. But the truth is, comparing yourself to someone else only robs you of your peace and joy. Everyone has their own journey, their own timing, and their own path to walk. When you compare yourself to others, you stop focusing on your own unique strengths and the incredible potential you possess. Self-love is about accepting your own path, your own progress, and your own unique. When you love yourself, you stop accepting less than you deserve. You set higher standards for your life, your relationships, and your goals. You refuse to settle for mediocrity because you know you are capable of achieving great. Self-love means understanding that you are worthy of all the good things life has to offer. It means saying no to things that drain you, to people who don't value you, and to situations that don't align with your highest good. You are the standard, and everything around you should reflect that. But self-love is not a destination, it's a journey. It's something you practice daily, even when the world tries to tell you otherwise. It's an ongoing process of growth, healing, and empowerment. And as you continue to embrace self-love, you will see how your life begins to transform in ways you never thought possible. So ask yourself, how much are you truly loving and valuing yourself? Are you ready to elevate your standards and embrace the life you deserve? And in the next part of this journey, we'll dive into the importance of setting boundaries to protect your energy and time so that you can continue to cultivate self-love and stay focused on your path to greatness. Stay tuned for the next step that will empower you to maintain your peace and protect what truly matters. The power of saying no is something many of us struggle with, but it's one of the most empowering things you can learn to do. We live in a world where everyone is pulling at your time, your energy, and your focus. Whether it's family, friends, work, or society's expectations, it can feel like there's always someone or something demanding more from you. But here's the secret. If you don't learn to say no, you will eventually run out of energy, lose focus, and watch your life slip further away from the goals you truly desire. The truth is, saying no is not just about rejecting others. It's about protecting yourself, your peace, and your future. We often think that saying no makes us selfish or inconsiderate, but in reality, saying no is one of the most self-respecting acts you can do. It's a declaration of what you value and what you're willing to allow into your life. Saying no is not about shutting people down. It's about prioritizing what matters most to you. Your time, energy, and mental focus are your most valuable assets, and you must guard them fiercely. Think about it. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your vision, you are saying no to something that does. Every time you accept an invitation or commitment that drains you, you take energy away from your goals, your dreams, and your well-being. The art of saying no is about making conscious choices to invest in what will move you forward, not what will hold you back. You see, saying no doesn't mean you don't care. In fact, it shows that you care enough about yourself and your future to not overextend yourself. When you say yes to everything, you stretch yourself thin, and ultimately, you become ineffective, overwhelmed, and burnt out. But when you say no, you free up space for the things that really matter. You create room for growth, for peace, and for progress. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do you say no without feeling guilty? Well, that's the first challenge. We've been conditioned to think that saying no is rude or unkind. But the reality is, it's the most respectful thing you can do for both yourself and the people around you. When you say no, you show respect for your own time and energy, and you also show respect for others by being honest with them about what you can and cannot do. Instead of stretching yourself thin and delivering subpar results, saying no allows you to commit fully to the things that truly matter. Saying no is also about setting clear boundaries. Boundaries are the lines you draw in the sand that protect your time, your peace, and your emotional well-being. Without boundaries, you allow people and situations to take whatever they want from you, leaving you drained and depleted. With boundaries, you take control of your life. You decide what you're available for, and you create the space to focus on what aligns with your highest purpose. But don't confuse boundaries with isolation. Setting boundaries is not about shutting yourself off from the world. It's about creating a space where you can thrive. When you say no to the things that drain you, you are making room for the things that energize and inspire you. And here's the truth. The more you practice saying no, the easier it becomes. The more you protect your peace, the more you'll realize how much better you feel when you're aligned with your purpose. Saying no is not an act of rebellion. It's an act of self-love, self-respect, and self-discipline. It is an essential tool for maintaining your focus, your energy, and your drive. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because once you've mastered the art of saying no, you'll unlock the ability to say yes to the things that truly matter. The power of no isn't just about rejecting the wrong things. It's about making space to say yes to the right things. But how do you know what to say yes to? And how do you make sure you're moving toward the things that will elevate your life? In the next part of this journey, we will dive deeper into how to identify the opportunities that truly align with your vision, and how to make sure your yeses are intentional and impactful. It's time to take this one step further, and I promise you won't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Let me ask you a question. What's the difference between those who succeed and those who struggle? The answer is simple: self-discipline. It's not talent, it's not luck, and it's certainly not the circumstances you were born into. What separates those who thrive from those who just get by is the ability to stay committed, to push through the challenges, and to continue moving forward even when things get tough. Self-discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. So what is self-discipline? It's the ability to control your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions in the face of distractions, temptation, and even adversity. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's waking up early when you want to sleep in, sticking to your goals when the world is pulling you in every direction, and staying focused on your vision when obstacles seem to be everywhere. Self-discipline is the muscle that, when exercised, helps you achieve what others say is impossible. But here's the thing, self-discipline is not something you're born with, it's something you develop. Just like any skill, it requires practice and consistency. It's about making the right choices, day after day, even when it's hard. And the beauty of self-discipline is that it compounds over time. The more you practice, the stronger you become, and the more you achieve. It's about making the small, seemingly insignificant decisions that add up to something extraordinary. The consistent effort you put in today will shape your tomorrow. Now you might be thinking, but it's so hard to stay disciplined. Life is so full of distractions. I get it, the world is full of noise, distractions, and temptations that can easily pull us off course. But here's the key. Discipline is not about eliminating distractions, it's about learning how to focus despite them. You won't always be in the perfect environment, things won't always go your way, but you can choose how you respond. The power of self-discipline lies in your ability to stay the course, no matter what life throws at you. Think about your goals. Do you have them written down? Do you have a clear, actionable plan to achieve them? If you want to achieve anything great in life, it won't happen by chance. It happens through intentional action, consistent effort, and an unwavering focus. Self-discipline is about taking those goals and breaking them down into daily actions that align with your vision. It's about setting a standard for yourself and then holding yourself accountable to that standard. It's important to understand that self-discipline is not about being perfect. It's about progress. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, and taking steps forward no matter how small. Perfectionism can be paralyzing because it leads to the fear of making mistakes. But the truth is, you will make mistakes. You will fall down. But the question is, will you get back up? Will you keep going? That's the real test of self-discipline. In fact, self-discipline also requires you to be kind to yourself. It's about understanding that growth isn't always linear. There will be setbacks. There will be days when you don't feel like pushing forward. And there will be times when you fail. But it's during those times that your self-discipline is truly tested. Will you continue to rise, or will you quit? The winners are those who keep going, even when it feels like everything is working against them. So how can you start developing self-discipline today? It starts with setting clear boundaries, creating a routine, and committing to the actions that will get you closer to your goal. It's about learning to say no to things that distract you, and yes to the things that propel you forward. The road to success is paved with consistent action, and that action begins with your ability to stay disciplined. The power of self-discipline is within your reach, but it's up to you to take that first step. Are you ready to make that commitment, to push yourself beyond what you thought was possible? Now, as we move forward in this journey, we'll explore the next crucial step, the importance of mastering your emotions and how they can either propel you forward or hold you back. In the next part, we'll dive into how emotional control plays a vital role in your journey to success. Don't miss it. Emotions are powerful. They can fuel your actions, drive your decisions, and shape the way you experience life. But too often we let our emotions control us instead of the other way around. We react impulsively, we allow fear, anger, and frustration to take the wheel, and we let our emotions dictate our outcomes. Here's the truth. Mastering your emotions is one of the most essential skills you can develop if you want to unlock your true potential. When you learn to control your emotions, you begin to take control of your life. Think about the times when you've acted out of anger or fear. How many times has a moment of emotion led you to make decisions you later regretted? How many opportunities have you missed because you allowed your emotions to cloud your judgment? The reality is, emotions are powerful tools. They can either be your greatest asset or your worst enemy, depending on how you choose to manage them. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them or pretending they don't exist. It's not about ignoring your feelings or bottling them up. It's about acknowledging them, understanding them, and learning how to respond to them in a way that serves your best interests. Emotions are signal. They give us information about how we feel in certain situations, but they don't have to control our behavior. When you understand your emotions, you can use them as powerful indicators to guide your actions instead of letting them control you. One of the biggest challenges in mastering emotions is learning to pause before reacting. How many times have you said something you didn't mean because you were angry? How many times have you allowed fear to paralyze you from taking action? Emotional reactions often happen in an instant, and it's in those moments that you must learn to take a step back and gain control. When you can pause even for just a few seconds before reacting, you give yourself the space to choose your response. This pause is where your power lies. It's in that moment that you decide whether you will let your emotions control you, or whether you will rise above them and make decisions from a place of clarity and purpose. Another critical aspect of emotional mastery is understanding the role of emotional triggers. These are situations, people, or events that elicit strong emotional reactions in us, often without us realizing why. By becoming aware of your emotional triggers, you can take proactive steps to manage your response. For example, if you know that certain situations make you anxious or stressed, you can prepare yourself mentally for those moments, allowing you to stay calm and collected. Emotional triggers often come from deep-rooted beliefs, past experiences, or fears that need to be addressed. When you understand the root cause of your emotional responses, you can begin to heal and move forward with greater emotional intelligence. One of the most powerful tools in emotional mastery is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, without judgment, and without letting your thoughts or emotions take control. It's about observing your emotions without getting lost in them. When you practice mindfulness, you create the space to understand your emotions instead of being swept away by them. This practice helps you develop emotional resilience, so that when life's challenges arise, you're not easily overwhelmed. You can stay grounded, calm, and in control. Mastering your emotions also involves taking responsibility for your emotional state. Often we blame others for how we feel, thinking that someone else's actions or words are the reason we're upset. But the truth is, your emotions are your own responsibility. No one can make you feel a certain way without your consent. When you take ownership of your emotions, you empower yourself to control them. You choose how you feel and how you respond to external situations. Now, as you start to gain control over your emotions, something incredible begins to happen. You begin to see the world through a different lens, one that's free from the heavy weight of emotional reaction. You can think clearly, make better decisions, and act in alignment with your goals and vision. You stop letting your emotions dictate your actions, and instead you start taking purposeful, deliberate steps toward the life you want to create. But this is just the beginning, because once you've mastered your emotions, you'll discover an even greater power within you, the ability to master your thoughts. How you think will determine how you feel, how you act, and ultimately, the life you create. In the next part of this journey, we'll dive deeper into how mastering your thoughts is the next crucial step to unlocking your full potential. Don't miss it. Accept, your mind is one of the most powerful tools you possess. Every action you take, every choice you make, and every outcome you experience begins with a thought. The thoughts you think are the seeds that shape the reality you live in. But here's the reality: your mind is constantly flooded with thoughts, some of which serve you, and others that can hold you back. The key to shaping the life you want to live is mastering your thoughts. If you can control your thoughts, you can control your actions. If you can control your actions, you can shape your destiny. But too often we let our thoughts run wild. We entertain negative, limiting beliefs, and we allow self-doubt, fear, and worry to take root. And when we do this, we sabotage our potential before we even take the first step. The truth is, your thoughts are not just random. They are powerful forces that shape the way you perceive the world and respond to it. To truly master your thoughts, you must first become aware of them. You must be intentional about what you allow into your mind. Every thought you think carries weight. It either moves you closer to your goals or pulls you further away from them. So what kind of thoughts are you entertaining? Are they thoughts of possibility, of abundance, and of growth? Or are they thoughts of limitation, fear, and self-doubt? One of the most common thought patterns that holds people back is the belief that they are not enough, that they don't have what it takes to succeed. How many times have you found yourself thinking, I'm not qualified, I'm not smart enough, or I don't deserve this? These thoughts, although natural, are lies that we tell ourselves. And if you continue to entertain these lies, they will become the foundation of your reality. The truth is, you are more than enough. You have everything you need within you to succeed, but you must first change the way you think about yourself. Mastering your thoughts starts with replacing negative beliefs with positive, empowering ones. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, start thinking, I can learn how to do this. Instead of thinking, I'll never make it, think, I am capable of achieving greatness. The thoughts you choose to focus on will determine your actions, and your actions will determine the life you create. It's also important to understand that not every thought that enters your mind should be acted upon. Just because a thought pops into your head doesn't mean it's true or that it serves you. Often we react impulsively to thoughts without considering whether they align with our values, goals, and vision. But when you take the time to evaluate your thoughts, you can begin to filter out the ones that don't serve you. You can start to consciously choose thoughts that align with the person you want to become and the life you want to live. Another powerful tool for mastering your thoughts is visualization. Visualization is the practice of imagining the life you want to create in vivid detail. When you can see your success in your mind, you create a mental blueprint that your actions will follow. The mind cannot distinguish between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. So when you consistently visualize your success, you are programming your subconscious mind to believe that it is possible. Your thoughts then begin to shift from I can't to I will. But mastering your thoughts also requires you to take responsibility for your mental environment. Just as you protect your physical environment, you must protect your mental environment. What are you allowing into your mind? Are you feeding it with positive, uplifting information, or are you allowing negativity to take root? The people you surround yourself with, the books you read, the media you consume, all of these things influence your thoughts. If you want to change your reality, you must begin by changing what you feed your mind. Mastering your thoughts is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. It's about being intentional every single day about the thoughts you entertain. The more you practice controlling your thoughts, the more effortless it will become. And as you begin to shift your mindset, you will see a shift in your life. The world around you will start to reflect the positive, empowering thoughts you've cultivated within yourself. But this journey doesn't stop here. Mastering your thoughts is just the beginning. Once you've gained control over your mind, there's another powerful tool you need to harness: mastering your actions. It's time to move from thought to execution, from intention to impact. And in the next part of this journey, we'll dive into how to transform your thoughts into results through intentional action. Don't miss what comes next. It's easy to dream big, it's easy to set goals, and it's easy to think about what you want to achieve. But let me ask you something. How many times have you set a goal, felt excited about it, but then never took action? How many times have you had a brilliant idea but let it slip away because you didn't follow through? The truth is, all the great thoughts, all the powerful intentions, and all the plans in the world mean nothing if you don't take action. Taking intentional action is what turns your dreams into reality. It's not enough to think about success, you have to act on it. You have to make it happen. But here's the thing, taking action isn't always easy. It's not always convenient, it's not always comfortable, and it's certainly not always perfect. But the key is to start, even if it's with small steps. Every action you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Every action compounds over time. When you make a commitment to take consistent, intentional action, you begin to build momentum, and that momentum carries you further than you ever imagined. Now you might be thinking, but I don't know where to start, or what if I make a mistake? The answer is simple: start anyway. There's never going to be a perfect time. There's never going to be a moment when everything lines up perfectly. But you don't need perfection to take action. You just need courage. You need the courage to take that first step, even when you're not sure where it will lead. Action is what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's what separates those who wish for success from those who achieve it. Intentional action is not about being busy, it's about being focused. It's about aligning your actions with your goals and vision. Too many people are busy doing things that don't move them closer to their dreams. They get caught up in distractions, in the small tasks that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But when you take intentional action, you focus on what truly matters. You focus on the tasks that will bring you closer to your desired outcome. And don't let fear stop you. Fear has a way of keeping us stuck, preventing us from taking action. But let me tell you something. Fear is a lie. Fear will tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not ready, and that you'll fail. But the truth is, fear is just a signal that you're on the verge of growth. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, every time you push past fear, you grow stronger. And with each step you take, you build the confidence to keep going. The more you face fear, the more you realize it has no real power over you. Action also requires discipline. It's about making decisions today that will serve your future self. It's about being consistent, even when motivation fades. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes, but discipline is what keeps you going when motivation is nowhere to be found. It's the foundation of success. When you show up every day, when you put in the work even when you don't feel like it, you begin to see results, and those results will build your confidence, giving you the strength to take even more action. You've already done the hard part, deciding what you want, and envisioning your success. Now it's time to execute. It's time to take what you've learned, what you've visualized, and turn it into tangible results. This is where the rubber meets the road. And the good news is, every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your dream. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to take the next step, and the next, and the next. As you continue on this journey, remember this: success isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every action you take brings you closer to the person you're meant to become, and the life you're meant to create. And the more you take intentional action, the more success will come to you. So as you take action, remember this is only the beginning. As you move forward, we'll dive deeper into how to stay consistent and overcome the obstacles that will inevitably come your way. Because staying the course, even in the face of challenges, is the key to long-term success. Don't miss what's coming next. Keep moving forward.